Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything that matters in the NFL world. Today's episode is loaded, and you won't want to miss a second. We're talking trades, quarterbacks, draft strategies, and the real reasons behind a decision that could shape the direction of an entire franchise moving forward. So if you're into all things football, buckle up. Let's start with the buzz that lit up the weekend. The possibility of a trade involving a quarterback that's been quietly building attention. The name on everyone's radar? Aiden O'Connell. Now, reports are swirling that there's a real shot something could go down during the upcoming draft. The idea would be to bring in a young quarterback to learn under a more seasoned vet. It's a setup that makes sense, especially with a new minority owner in the mix who seems to support a developmental path for a future starter. And while this might not be the strongest year for quarterbacks overall, there's still some interesting names out there that fit that mold. Let's take a quick step back. Aiden O'Connell was selected in the 4th round of the 2023 NFL Draft, and since then, he's played in 20 games and started 17. That's no small feat, especially when you consider the revolving door of coaching staffs and playbooks he's had to adapt to. And here's the kicker. His cap hit is just a little over $1 million. That's pocket change in the NFL, especially for a quarterback who's been on the field as much as he has. If a trade were to happen on draft day, the team could actually save some money. But let's be real, the financial aspect isn't the key driver here. It's all about the trade value. And let's be honest, if the team does move O'Connell now, they'd probably be selling at his peak value. He's still on a rookie deal, still viewed as a young and moldable player, and teams looking for depth or a potential future starter could find that appealing. But the risk is this. If he stays on the bench next season, his value could dip. That's just how the league works. Out of sight, out of mind. Teams want reps, film, production. If they don't see it, they assume it's not there. So, it makes sense that the front office is at least weighing the possibility of making a move now, while interest is still relatively high. Still, even with some limitations in his play, Aiden has proven he belongs in the league. Maybe not as a franchise starter, but definitely as a solid backup who understands the game and can step in when needed. He's competitive, he's had some decent touchdown interception numbers, and most importantly, he's never folded under pressure. That's something you can't teach. And even though he's dealt with plenty of skepticism, he's kept pushing. That says something about his character. Now here's something to think about. Every year, this team seems to hit the reset button. Coaching changes, new systems, fresh philosophies. And while change can be good, it also makes it tough for players drafted by previous regimes to hold onto their spot. Aiden was drafted under a different leadership group, and with yet another new staff coming in, the question becomes, is he part of the long-term plan? Or does this new team want to bring in their guy to mold from day one? Think of it like this. If you bought a car in 2023 and now, 2 years later, you could trade it in for almost the same price you paid, that's a win. That's the situation we're looking at with Aiden. A mid-round pick turned into a potential trade chip. Not bad. And for a quarterback, especially a backup, stability matters. Maybe Aiden's looking around and thinking, I want to be somewhere I can grow without having to relearn a new playbook every year. Can you blame him? And let's not ignore the other part of the story. The team clearly has its eyes on quarterbacks in this draft. They've scheduled a ton of visits with prospects, and when a team does that many interviews with players at the same position, it's not just due diligence. It's a sign. They're looking. They're serious. Whether it's the first round or second, they're hunting for someone to add to the quarterback room. That tells me one thing. Competition is coming. And if they draft someone early, that guy isn't coming in to sit quietly. He's coming to fight for a spot. Now, some people hear all this and think it means there's no faith in Aiden. That's not necessarily true. I'd actually rank him among the top 40 quarterbacks in the league right now. That doesn't make him elite, but it definitely means he's above QB3 status. He's got the talent to hang, and if a team gave him the right system and support, who knows? He could surprise some people. But again, this is the NFL. Competition is constant. Draft a guy, sign a vet, develop the room. It's all part of the process. Now here's where things get interesting. We've already seen signs from the coaching staff that the starting job isn't locked in. That means even Geno Smith, the presumed starter, isn't on solid ground. And if that's the case, you better believe Aiden's going to have to fight harder than ever just to hold on to a backup role. The fan base is also split. Some folks are all in on Geno. Others still believe Aiden deserves a Real shot. And that kind of divide, it can be dangerous for locker room chemistry and team morale. That's why I wouldn't be shocked if the front office decided the cleanest move would be to deal Aiden. Not because he's not good enough, but because it removes the distraction. It lets everyone fully rally behind Geno without the pressure of fans calling for a switch every time he throws a bad pass. If the organization is serious about supporting Geno as the leader, removing Aiden might actually help them get the unity they're looking for from the fan base. But just as we start leaning toward trade, let's flip it around. Why would the team keep Aiden? Well, one reason is pretty simple: the rumors themselves. Sometimes the louder the trade talk, the less likely it actually happens. Front offices love to test the waters, leak info, see how the market reacts. And unless the return is really worth it, it's hard to justify moving a competent backup quarterback, especially when you don't have a sure thing behind him. Plus, Aiden would offer exactly the kind of competition you want for a rookie quarterback. He knows the system, he's proven he can handle pressure, and he won't make things easy for a newcomer. That's exactly what you want in your quarterback room: guys who push each other to get better. And let's say Geno goes down with an injury, knock on wood. Would you rather roll out an untested rookie, or a guy like Aiden who's already seen real action and knows what it takes to win? That's the kind of scenario where keeping Aiden makes a lot more sense. You protect your long-term investment by letting the rookie develop at his own pace, and you keep your season alive with a guy who's already shown he can handle NFL speed. It's about building depth and maintaining flexibility. And when you think about it that way, trading Aiden just for the sake of making a move seems reckless. Now, unless a team comes forward offering something solid, I'm talking a 5th-round pick minimum, it's probably smarter to hold on to him. Anything less, like a 7th-rounder in 2026, that's not worth it. The guy's value to your quarterback room, your practices, your locker room, it goes beyond just draft capital. If the return doesn't match the role he plays, you're better off keeping him around. And let's not forget, Aiden's not just some throwaway piece. He's got value, real value. But we'll talk more about the potential trade partners and destinations in a bit. So, who could actually make a move for Aiden O'Connell if the team decides to pull the trigger? Let's talk about potential landing spots, because you can't just say, let's trade him, without knowing who might be on the other end of that phone call. There are a few organizations that immediately come to mind, especially those with coaching ties to Aiden or teams with quarterback situations that are, let's say, less than ideal. One possibility includes a franchise led by a former member of this very staff. That kind of familiarity can go a long way in this league. Coaches love players who already understand their system, who they've worked with before, and who won't take months to get up to speed. Even if they already have a backup in place, you can never have too much depth at quarterback, especially when that depth comes with built-in knowledge of your offense. Another team that might raise an eyebrow is currently reevaluating their quarterback situation altogether. They've got a guy in place, sure, but if there's any lingering doubt in the building, they might be willing to bring in someone like Aiden to shake things up. In the right environment, he could even push for the starting job if things go south for their current QB. And let's be real, with a solid defense and a competent quarterback, teams like that can steal a few wins and stay competitive while they figure things out long-term. Then you've got teams that are simply in transition. You know the type. Their veteran quarterback just retired or left in free agency, and now they're stuck figuring out if their young guy is the answer. For a team like that, Aiden represents a low-cost, high-upside option. Not only can he compete, but he brings some level of stability during a rebuilding phase. Teams love that. He's not flashy, but he's reliable, and sometimes that's all you need while grooming the next franchise guy. Let's not forget the possibility that some teams could be looking to trade up or down during the draft. In those scenarios, quarterback depth can play a role in sweetening the deal. Maybe a team wants to move up to grab their QB of the future and needs a temporary bridge starter. Or maybe they're moving down and want to grab a young backup with game experience. Aiden fits both profiles. His value in draft-related trades isn't just about his skill. It's about his position and the flexibility he brings to the roster. Now, let's talk about Green Bay. Yes, there have been some quiet murmurs linking Aiden to that team, especially due to background ties and connections within the coaching ranks. Even if he doesn't have a direct link to the current staff, the league is a small world, and relationships matter. Green Bay's quarterback room isn't set in stone, and if they feel Aiden gives them a better shot as a backup or even a surprise competitor, don't be shocked if a call is made. Minnesota is another intriguing name in the mix. They've got a young guy who shows flashes of potential, but there are still serious questions about whether he's the future. If the Vikings look at this draft class and don't see anyone they fully believe in, then Aiden could enter the picture. He's got more on-field reps than most rookies, and in a division that's up for grabs, a guy like that could make a difference. There's also a team that just lost their veteran quarterback, and the replacement currently on the roster is unproven at best. For them, adding someone like Aiden O'Connell wouldn't just be about filling a roster spot. It'd be about giving themselves a real chance to evaluate their future at the position without committing huge money or high draft capital. It's a smart play, and you better believe they're thinking about it. And here's something else to keep in mind. The value of a quarterback in today's league has never been higher. If a team sees Aiden as a solid backup, a high-end QB2, or even a developmental starter, they might be willing to pay a decent price to secure that role. It doesn't take much for quarterback markets to get weird. One injury, one bad performance, and suddenly every team is scrambling to shore up their depth chart. That's when guys like Aiden become gold. But here's the catch. Trading him for next to nothing just to move him off the books? That doesn't line up with the team's current direction. If they believe in building depth, if they're focused on smart development and winning now while also planning for the future, Aiden staying makes just as much sense as him leaving. It all depends on the return. And if the offers coming in don't reflect his actual value, they're better off keeping him in the quarterback room. Now, some people might argue that even a 7th-round pick in 2026 is worth it just to get something back. But think about that. What does a 7th-rounder in 2 years really bring you? Maybe a long-shot prospect, maybe a special teamer. That's not a worthwhile trade-off for a guy who's already proven he can step onto the field and run an NFL offense. That's not just a depth piece. That's a safety net. That's insurance. And in this league, that matters. From what we're hearing, the team does trust their front office. The fan base sees the moves being made and understands that there's a plan in motion. But plans only work if there's clarity, and right now, the quarterback situation is full of question marks. If Aiden is traded, that would signal confidence in a rookie they plan to draft. That means they think this kid is ready to contribute immediately if called upon. And if they don't move him, that tells us they value the role Aiden plays, both on the field and behind the scenes. Recently, there was even talk around the league about some event that wrapped up in a shout-out to a bracket challenge winner. While that's fun and all, it just goes to show how much the fan base is engaged. People care about every little piece of news, and when it comes to Aiden O'Connell, the curiosity is off the charts. Everyone wants to know what's next. We'll also dive into the possible trade destinations in more detail soon. But for now, the key thing to understand is that Aiden's status with the team is one of the most fascinating storylines heading into the 2025 draft. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a shocking twist that has captured the attention of NFL fans across the nation, rumors have started swirling about the possibility of Tyreek Hill joining the Las Vegas Raiders. Known for his electrifying speed and record-breaking performances, Hill has long been regarded as one of the NFL's most dangerous playmakers. But could the Raiders, a team in search of an offensive spark, be the perfect fit for the Cheetah? With the Raiders' inconsistent offensive play in recent years, Hill could provide the jolt needed to take their game to the next level. Hill's current tenure with the Miami Dolphins ended in unexpected frustration, culminating in the team's failure to make the playoffs despite his stellar individual performances. Hill's 2023 season was nothing short of remarkable, finishing with 119 receptions, 1,799 receiving yards, and 13 touchdowns. He He was named a first-team All-Pro and even ranked as the best player in the NFL by his peers in the NFL Top 100 Players of 2024. Yet, his frustration boiled over after the Dolphins' season-ending loss, leading to speculation about his future. If Hill is truly seeking a change of scenery, the Raiders could be the ideal landing spot. Las Vegas has struggled to find consistency in its receiving core. While they've had flashes of brilliance, the Raiders' offense has lacked a true game-breaking receiver who can stretch the field like Hill. His speed and big playability would immediately elevate the Raiders' passing attack, making them a more dynamic threat in the AFC West. Hill's presence could also take pressure off quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who has yet to establish a rhythm with his new team. Imagine Garoppolo connecting with Hill deep downfield. Defenses would have no choice but to adjust their entire game plan to account for his speed. The Raiders' pursuit of Hill would not only be a major boost for their offense, but also a statement of intent. It would show their commitment to competing at the highest level, and given Hill's competitive nature, he could thrive in a new environment where he is expected to lead. If the Raiders can make it happen, they would be adding one of the most explosive players in the league to their roster, providing a legitimate threat to any defense they face. As the offseason progresses and the rumors continue to heat up, the question remains, will the Raiders make a move for Hill? The potential for such a signing has NFL analysts buzzing, and fans are eagerly awaiting more details. With Hill's future still uncertain and the Raiders in need of a game-changer, this might just be the most exciting storyline of the 2024 offseason. Only time will tell if the Cheetah will bring his blazing speed to the desert, but one thing is for sure. If it happens, the AFC West will never be the same. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about the Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.